Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Gift Nakabito. Welcome back to Learning, Sharing Life and Mental Health. Today the cat is gonna be let out of the bag. I have Poland syndrome, and that is the deformity I've always talked about. You won't hear me again saying deformity, hiding it, but it is Poland syndrome. What is Poland syndrome? Why is it a syndrome? First of all, a syndrome has to do a lot with, and that's why it's a syndrome. It's not a disease. Poland syndrome is not a disease, but a syndrome, as I've told you. A disease has its own identity, why it's called a disease, and a syndrome also has reasons behind why it's called a syndrome. Part of that, I would tell you that you find with a syndrome the reason why someone is the way she or he is, or someone has a certain condition is not known. The cause of it is not known that much. That's what I'm told, basing on my own. And Poland syndrome has nothing to do with Poland as a country, but it has to do with who gave it identity. So let's go into it. Poland syndrome. What is it? Poland syndrome is in men and women. Few, because it's a rare condition that you find with a few women and a few men, or to make it clear, male or female. Why do I say it's rare? Personally, I grew, and it's at this age that I've come to know there are other people with Poland syndrome. I thought I was alone in the world. I thought I was alone in my country. But guess what? To know that I'm not alone is what gave me healing, is what gave me the confidence to come out and talk about this, because I went through a lot of trauma, a lot of stress, a lot of mental illnesses because of this condition. Poland syndrome affecting men and women. What is identified to tell that this person has Poland syndrome? I don't want to base on necessarily what I'm going to tell you and you say someone has Poland syndrome, but a diagnosis can be done and you get to know, to be sure whether it's Poland syndrome or not. Most of the times one has webbed fingers. What are webbed fingers? I will request you to educate yourself about that. You Google, go to pics and see webbed fingers. It has to do with what currently, or as for now, what is known to be the cause of it is one, missing a chest muscle, which comes as a result of underdevelopment as a child is in the womb. A chest muscle, mostly pectoralis, that doesn't develop, and you will not know that a child will be affected, or even maybe doesn't have that muscle, until he or she has hit puberty, or herself, mostly ladies, because that's where I fall. I will talk more about ladies. For ladies, mostly he or she should not know she has Poland syndrome until she hits puberty, just like me. Why? It's at puberty that breasts start to grow. And so this takes me to, in women, it affecting ladies due to the missing of a muscle in the chest that is caused by underdevelopment when a child is still in the womb. So there is having webbed fingers, there is having deformity to do with the chest, and that is to do with breasts in ladies. What happens? A girl hits puberty and breasts start to grow. It is mostly known that most ladies have uneven breasts. Breasts are not of the same size, but in this case the difference is so big that it affects a person psychologically, because it's something rare. It's something you're seeing other girls don't have. Mostly when you're in school, you're with many girls, but you don't see anyone who has it like you, and confusion comes in at that point, because you're growing, you're seeing changes, but your change is not like for other girls. As they hit puberty, their breasts grow. They're not the same size, but to you the difference is very big. Why not get worried? So that takes one into worrying, stress, anxiety, and what the worst part of it, I won't say doctors don't know it, I won't say they don't know, but the thing is that condition is rare, and it's like most of them don't know. I've not said they don't know, but it's like it's not known because of it being rare. Why? I've met other people who are like me, but this has happened after 9 years, because I hit puberty when I was in senior one and I was 13, and for all these years up to now, when I'm living at my final year, in my final year to complete my course of 3 years, it's when I've come to meet one person, one doctor, whom even meets me, who told him, is it this? Because me, I kept on making research because I wanted to know why am I like this, because it worried me so much. I passed through a lot, and I had to make research until, by the grace of God, yes, I was led to people who are like me, and I found my check. So I'm not saying doctors don't know it, but few, I would say few, because it's at this age that I found someone that really knows something about it. And having one breast, you find even your own people at home don't understand you because they have never seen it. And then you don't know whom you should talk to, your parent, your doctor, your relative. All these don't know because they have never seen it. It's rare. Few people don't. What kills the most is thinking one is alone. My dear, if you have Poland syndrome, you're not alone. You're not alone, baby girl, and you're beautiful. You're wonderfully made in God's image, and I love you. So, for the sake of ladies, one thing I want us to get from this video is that this is our body, and we've got to love it. The world is full of a lot. There are many comments that come to us because I'm talking out of experience. These things are there. This condition, like I've told you, it's rare, and it's not like any other deformity, any other disability that I don't know. I would not want to call it a disability, but because we are differently abled. Me, I'm not disabled, but I'm differently abled. That's what I say, because I know my other abilities they can't put me down because I have Poland syndrome. So, ladies, this thing is rare, and if it was known, maybe like any other deformities, like you see someone who is blind, who is deaf, and it's taken normal, people don't make those people feel bad, though there are those who do it. But because there are many people who have gotten to know that some people are blind, they even respect people who are blind. They know there are people who move from a place to place in a wheelchair because they are lame. So people don't come out to abuse those people, to treat them bad. But because this one is rare, you find someone who says something strange and even uses it against you, uses it to put you down, to abuse you. Girl, don't allow that person. They will be there, but please keep strong. I'm with you, and you're not alone. Poland syndrome is something that can take you through a lot. Let me take you into this. Through a lot of mental illnesses. I've already talked about mental health, how it matters. In my previous videos, you would see that I'm talking out of experience because I've been through all these things that, like I've told you in the previous videos. But I want to focus on this mainly, Poland syndrome. With Poland syndrome, First of all, knowing that you're alone, because you be it in my own country, I've not met anyone in my own country, Uganda, with Poland syndrome. But I've talked to other ladies, and it's after 9 years that I've gotten a chance to meet other people. But I thought I was alone because I went to hospitals, and what I was told was always, you're okay, you're still growing. When you give birth, you'll be fine. Don't worry about this. But how would I feel to worry when I'm seeing other girls not like me? When I've grown and I don't see anyone who is like me? When people I think maybe would say this is a fellow lady, maybe her condition is this, are the very people, some, not all, some are coming out to use it against me, thinking they can put me down using it, but I never allow that. That never comes my way. It comes, but I don't accept to be put down because of Poland. Obviously, it's not easy, but I've not accepted myself to be put down by those people. Having one breast, because to ladies that is what happens. Breasts grow, and in growing, one breast grows normally and another one doesn't grow normally like for others.